A recent PNP Commission poll shows them ahead of the governing JLP by 5 percentage points. The PNP General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, made the disclosure at a media briefing today.
The PNP has now moved to 30.2% and the Jamaica Labour Party is now at 25%, representing a lead of 5.2%, which is outside of the margin of error, which is 3% for this poll.
PNP at time now to see it coming together. Where they can show them the video where Dr. Phillips said to them tonight. Show them the video tonight where Dr. Phillips said to them. Show them the video, Wayne. Wayne, show them the video.
The People's National Party, and you're a Norman Manley PNP. I say, come on board now. If you are a Michael Manley PNP, come on board now. Time come. If you're a PJ Patterson PNP, come on board now. Time come. If you're a Portia Simpson Miller PNP, come on board. Time come now. And for all the people that say them of Peter Phillips PNP, come on board now. This party is too important to us. It's too important to our history. It's too important to our children and our grandchildren for us to make any little personal issue, our side show, our side this, our side that. Stop the mission of the People's National Party. Time come now.
Now to the details. PNP President Mark Golding is confident his party is in the ascendancy as it opens up a 5-point lead over the governing JLP. That's according to a recent poll commissioned by the PNP and conducted by the Donna Anderson-led Market Research Services Limited. The findings were presented at a media conference this morning. Siobhan Campbell reports.
Don Anderson's team went into the field between June 8 and 14. They polled 1,012 people. PNP President Mark Golding used the data to argue that his party is favored by the electorate.
The People's National Party has begun the process, and it is now well underway, of reaffirming our readiness for government in the country. With people are seeing the People's National Party as a viable and preferred option at this time to govern the country. And this is a culmination of a number of things, I believe. One of them, of course, is the very poor governance that is being displayed by the Jamaica Labour Party government.
PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell was upbeat in delivering the results of the commissioned poll.
When we went back in June, that's supposed to be June for the third column, of 2023, the PNP has now moved to 30.2% and the Jamaica Labour Party is now at 25%, representing a lead of 5.2%, which is outside of the margin of error, which is 3% for this poll. So the trend, which is what I pay more attention to, is the party coming from behind, pulling level, and then pulling ahead. Now, by no means does this mean that our work has been completed.
If the poll findings hold into a general election, it would see the PNP picking up 20 seats and taking a majority in the House of Representatives. They would have a 5-seat edge in the House of 34 to 29. According to the data presented, Mr. Golding is now only 1 percentage point behind Andrew Holness in what Dr. Campbell calls positivity ratings.
We really wanted to get what we thought was the most useful information and feedback from the public as to whether or not they have a positive or a negative view of the leaders? Yes? Do they have a positive or negative view of the leaders? And when we poll the question, Mark Golding polled at 53.2% of those persons who had a positive view of him, and Andrew Holness polled at 54.5% of those persons who had a positive view of him. Obviously, if you do the mathematics, the others had a negative view. So we thought that that was the most useful way to look at the information as to whether or not persons have a positive impression which may inform the way in which they would vote.
The poll also suggests that 53% of Jamaicans believe the country is going in the wrong direction under the current administration. 47% of those polled also ruled out giving the JLP another term in government. Just over 31% believe the governing party has earned another term. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, opposition leader Mark Golding says the behavior of Prime Minister Andrew Holness has become increasingly erratic.
And I know the Prime Minister is behaving in an increasingly unhinged manner. His behavior in Parliament last week, Tuesday, where he was so shrill and talking about he's fed up or, you know, what bun him, thank you, what bun him about what's happening now with how critical people are in social media. Well, what should be bunning him is the problem of crime and violence affecting the country, the disastrous education system where we're generating high percentages, much too high percentages of primary school children going into secondary school who can't read, can't write, can't do basic maths.
According to Mark Golding, Andrew Holness's jibe about the opposition leader being the highest paid politician in the country will come back to haunt him.
The response of the government has been hopelessly inadequate to deal with the vulnerable citizens of the country, yet they're paying themselves increases of over 200 to 300%. And when the pressure reached him, although he was the one who in his cabinet approved those increases, when the pressure reached him, he said he'll not take it as prime minister. But his behavior is erratic in this regard. And now, yesterday, I see him on a platform blaming me for being the best paid public servant, you know, which is ridiculous. I never asked for what I got, and I have decided to keep only 20% of the increase. He's the one who has given me that pay increase, him. So how can he be complaining about the size of it? And as I said, in due course, he will be in my position and earning it. So he should be careful what he says.
Mark Golding, opposition leader. He was speaking at a media conference this morning.
And the governing Jamaica Labour Party has dismissed as misleading the findings of the latest PNP commissioned poll. More in this report from Shalois Michael.
Fictitious and contrived. That's how Information Minister Robert Morgan described the PNP poll, suggesting that the days of the governing party are numbered. Mr. Morgan says the polls were conjured to create political mischief.
So you now see the PNP 5.5% leading on what annual got talk about poll fictitious? Poll fictitious? Our word next word him use when? Fictitious? Remember, uncontrived. But tonight, Jamaica, I go and get a guest to come in the studio, for a little while, But then, I hear Arias chant today. But Paul, you see, when you wake up, Arias, you never wake up when Daniel roar. Or you never wake up when Deshaun, or you never wake up when everybody I get beaten and this and that in this country. But you, Arias chant, you are a sleepy chang. You know, I remember murder something if you get some rice water for you, But you wake up when you hear the PNP are leading a poll. And when you don't come and talk about a lie and propaganda. And then now, Miss Central Manchester go tell us say, go tell it. Rhoda Crawford, come here. Rhoda, my best friend, with them. Rhoda, you and I know. Rhoda, you know that me and you were what? Best friends. You wouldn't see Rhoda without Andre. Jamaica, remember I said to you, say, them no want me telling you, ooh, me get a royal mess up for. Rhoda, come here now, man. Rhoda, you and I know the sacrifice I make for you, And you are going to tell people, say, but go on mountain to tell people what road.
PNP can't get too complacent with Angela. This guy is very tricky, you know.
Yes, man. You know what him coming with? You know what him coming with?
He might try to trick people.
You know him come with a new threshold. You remember why your prime minister and the members of the JLP can't sign the Integrity Commission? And enough of them over there is young people.
It's not my prime. No, it's not my prime minister anymore. He failed the whole world. So he's not, I don't even listen to that man. I don't know nothing about it. And that's
so you are saying you don't know nothing about it?
No, and I don't want to see, I don't want to hear about it.
So you say you're done with him as a labor right? You done with him? So then you say young people then. Who are some of the young people